and hopefully we get a final determination from the DPP in respect to that matter. But I must condemn what I saw on Hot Off the Press, where the video was taken from Thursdays, and I don't understand why would Thursdays give the video footage to anybody, but that's a matter for them. But I don't think that Hot Off the Press should have done what they did. And again, as a society, we must condemn those kind of actions, because the truth be told, the video footage that is shown there does not go to prove or disprove nothing, but rather it was an effort, merely as far as I can see, to smear the character of the female, of the women in that particular instance.
As previously mentioned, it is reported the women met the attorney while socializing at a nightclub in Belize City. The women told cops they recognized the attorney from social media. The attorney allegedly offered them drinks whilst at the nightclub, which they accepted. When the nightclub closed, both women say they left with the attorney and requested for him to take them home. According to the women, as they were being taken home, the attorney told them that they would stop at his house for one more drink, after which he would take them home. But that one drink turned into two, and eventually the drinking continued. One of the accusers told cops she had no memory of what took place after they left the nightclub until she woke up the next morning after in the nude, lying next to the attorney, who was also semi-nude. If the case ends up in court, the commissioner hopes that videos and comments that are out on the public sphere does not influence the jury.
If it is that the attorney is to be charged and the matter goes before the court, it is going to be heard by a jury. I don't know if those potential juries would be influenced by what they may have seen in the public discourse. That's a matter yet to be seen, so I cannot say.
Tonight, a number of officers are on the hot seat after a video surfaced where it shows them recording a mentally challenged individual as they command him to remove his clothing while detained at a precinct in the Old Capital. The male person is laughed at as he removes several layers of clothing, including a female underwear. While the entire process is captured on camera, it puts to question the behavior of the men who should uphold the law and safeguard citizens. The matter has undoubtedly raised eyebrows and has captured the attention of the hierarchy of the Belize Police Department, including Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa, who has indicated that he will review the footage and see what actions can be taken. But while the minister spoke candidly on the issue yesterday, today Commissioner of Police Chester Williams held back no punches when he spoke on the matter.
I reach a point at times where I just tear the answer for the stupidity that they do, and it is rather frustrating. As police officers, we must ensure that we uphold the rights and dignity of every person, regardless of who they are. And when we have police officers take advantage of a person with diverse disabilities, it does not look good. As Mr. Jones said in his interview to the media yesterday, we have been doing a lot with the Human Rights Commission. We have done a number of training with police officers. Every police officer across the country have been trained in the human rights norms. We even got some booklets printed through Dr. Coombs and were given out to police officers explaining the fundamental rights of people. So when we have things like this, it is inexcusable, because it is not what we stand for as a department, and I have directed that Professional Standard Branch deal with the matter as swiftly as they possibly can. We must set an example for those officers, because we do not want to see a repetition of it.
With reports suggesting one of the officers is an inspector, The newly elected police association put out a statement on the issue yesterday, citing, and we quote, "We, the central body of the police association, and in extension, the rank and file of the Belize Police Department, condemns the actions of these selfish persons who are the author of that video circulating on social media. On behalf of the police department, we want to apologize to the young man in that video for the act done towards him," end quote. Today, Campo Williams congratulated the association for speaking out against the obvious abuse of power displayed by the officers.
I saw that they put out a statement condemning the behavior as well. And so that speaks volume to the association. And it is good to see that we have people in the association who are not just there to take, to defend their members, but call out their members when they do wrong. And I must commend them for that. Certainly the first step is to identify exactly where it happened, who was on duty, etc. That process, I believe, has been established. Once that has been done, then the disciplinary charges will follow, and then we go from there.
We will keep following this story and bring you the details as they develop. Coming up next, student of the Belize Adventist College wins the National Agriculture and Trade Show 2024 team competition. Stay tuned.
Fernando Sanchez for counselor. Two-time counselor is a versatile leader, loving husband with 2 children. Skills have helped him in improving entertainment and recreational activities. Media member brings increasing transparency. High connection with the people of the town, especially in sports. Experience with both past Mayor Bernard and now Mayor Shepherd helps to foster development in his hometown. Fernando Sanchez for counselor. Dorette Pascasio for counselor. Young master educator and present counselor who strives for academic excellence in her students, since education is the key to success. Studied in the field of emerging technologies and is a visionary teacher for 10 years. She is the leader of the disability team who assists the mamas groups. Embracing every opportunity, learning from every experience, and let your passion guide you to a future of purpose and fulfillment. Dorette Pascasio for counselor.
With Express Plus, you can stream on the go or stream at home. Stream the latest movies, telenovelas, series, anime, or music videos from your favorite local artists. Sign up now with Centaur's Express Plus. El estancamiento de la industria azucarera ha llegado a su fin y se ha firmado un acuerdo entre los productores de caña y los molineros BSI e ISAR. Han sido tiempos difíciles para todos los implicados, con repercusiones para todos nosotros y para la nación. Pero como gobierno responsable, hemos afrontado este reto como todos los demás, con respeto, serenidad y determinación. Siempre hemos confiado en nuestro pueblo, entendiendo que todo lo que queremos, cualquiera de nosotros, es simplemente una vida mejor para nuestras familias y el desarrollo de nuestro querido Belice. Se trata de un acuerdo forjado a través de un diálogo pacífico y constructivo, y nuestro primer ministro y su equipo están agradecidos a todos los implicados, a nuestros agricultores de caña que lucharon por sus derechos, a BSI e ISAR que comprendieron que todos estamos juntos en esto, y a todos los que participaron para llegar a este punto. Una victoria para Belice. Esto es gobernanza real. Esto es progreso real. Cumplamos el plan. Seguimos avanzando.
Kadir Escalante for counselor, young, multifaceted, university-trained entrepreneur, eager to work for the continuous development of Orange Walk Town. Present counselor who works with the youth in sports and partnership with the people. He loves the music industry and its artists. Kadir Escalante for counselor. Alan Yu for counselor, native Orangewakeño and Belize Youth Movement Orange Walk executive member. Present counselor is a cell phone and electronics technician and thus knows the pivotal role that small and medium businesses play in the economy. Led the first initiative for Orange Walk Town to be named the first fair trade town in the Caribbean. Committed to making Orange Walk a thriving and inclusive place for all residents. Alan Yu for counselor.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Attorney at law Oscar Salgado finds himself in the middle of a storm as he is trying to calm after he was taken before a court of law to stand trial on a charge of abetment to commit murder. He was charged in 2019 after police gathered enough evidence that would satisfy the DPP that he was involved in a hit placed against Marilyn Barnes. According to the report, Salgado hired Giovanni Ramirez to execute the murder. On the first day of the trial, 6 witnesses were called to the stand. As per the registrar of the senior courts, Trina Young, she testified in court that she handed over a sealed envelope with the deposition, accompanied by other evidence in the case, to Justice Susan Lamb, but later on was told that 2 DVDs containing evidence were nowhere to be found. From Crown Counsel Shanidi Chel Urbina, she testified in court that Salgado indeed had a case to answer. Another key witness in the case was Lionel Arzu, the then former ombudsman. Now the case is fleshing out and Salgado remains focused on proving the court his innocence. However, in a turn of events today, High Court Justice Nigel Pilgrim indicated to the court his decision to accept the secondary evidence to be provided by recalled witnesses of the Crown in the person of the Commissioner of Police, Chester Williams, along with the former Inspector of Police, Wilfredo Rufino. Williams provided testimony in court early this morning about the audio recordings that alleged hired gunman Giovanni Ramirez shared with him and for which implicate Salgado. The composer shared what he remembered from the 8 recordings, confirming that he recognized Salgado's voice as well as Ramirez. In the case of Salgado, he said he was able to recognize his voice because he had a high interaction with him from 2015 to 2017 when he was the officer commanding Eastern Division. According to Williams, in the recording, Salgado was heard making reference to Marilyn Barnes, whom he said was trying to tarnish his reputation, as he has done a lot of good for people in society.
I don't want to go into much details where this current matter with Mr. Salgado is concerned. As you know, the matter is still live before the courts, and I don't want to say things that may jeopardize the outcome or to preempt whatever, so I'd rather reserve the comments until when the case is over.
In terms of police securing evidence, though, the tape recording or the clips, DVD/CD recordings, in terms of police securing evidence like that, can you speak to what the procedure is and how this might have gotten lost?
Well, the police did follow the proper process, I must say. The recording did not go missing from the police, and I'll leave it at that.
Kampal, did you say that you only shared what you recalled from the recording because you can't recall everything?
Yes, I did say that, yeah.
Should there have been a transcript?
I would not be the one to do the transcript. The transcript would have been done by the investigator.
But one would be required, right, as part of the whole investigation?
The statement of the that the investigator recorded from the witness would contain a transcript.
As for Inspector Wilfredo Rufino, he took the stand once more this afternoon after testifying in the voir dire. As the investigation officer in the case, he took the statement from Giovanni Ramirez and had also listened to the recording between Ramirez and Salgado that Ramirez secretly made. Ferrufino said he heard Salgado in the recording utter words to the effect, "I want Marilyn Barnes dead. I want that old," an expletive word is uttered, "dead, and it has to be done before the next General Council adjournment or date." Notably, no transcript of the recording was made. It also emerged that Ferrufino gave a third statement. The defense during cross-examination made much of the fact that he inserted to the end that he had seen the video recording and audio recording taken by Giovanni Ramirez. That statement was not contained in the first 2 statements he gave. The defense asked whether he had been prompted to insert the last declaration in his statement, and in re-examination, the DPP made sure to ask if he had been coerced. At the conclusion of today's proceedings, the DPP explained why Ferrufino's third statement was necessary.
At the time that the first 2 statements would have been given, the recording was in our possession. The third statement was given after the recording went missing from the file, and it was necessary for us to give an account of having received that recording and what happened with the recording when it was still in our possession, just to lay the foundation.
And the decision to bring as a Crown witness the senior magistrate who heard or conducted the preliminary inquiry, you believe that this strengthens your case and this, you would call her a last-minute witness?
It was certainly not anticipated that we would have had to call her, but because of the way that the evidence went, it became necessary for us to just tighten the evidence by calling that witness in relation to the fact that all of the exhibits in the matter had been tendered at the preliminary inquiry.
And what proceeds now in this trial?
Well, the prosecution has closed its case. The defense will make a submission on Thursday. We will respond.
Also, this afternoon, the Crown, led by DPP Sherilyn Vidal, also called the magistrate who handled the preliminary inquiry. She was Senior Magistrate Tricia Pitts Anderson, who testified that she was presented with the CDs and witness statements as exhibits, and then those were forwarded as part of a bundle to the registrar of the court. Today, over 40 stakeholders from both the public and private sectors, as well as development agencies, came together for the start of a 3-day technical workshop to improve development financing and planning towards accelerating the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and climate objectives. This is being considered through the implementation of the Integrated National Financing Framework INFF approach in Belize based on national priorities and experience from other countries. The workshop was convened by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade and the Office of the UN Resident Coordinator with technical leadership of the United Nations Development Programme UNDP in partnership with the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and Investment and Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management. The INFF was first introduced by the United Nations in 2015 and is used as a planning and delivery tool that builds greater collaboration between various sectors by aligning and strengthening the government's financing policies at the national level. It brings together the full range of public, private, domestic, and international financial sources to increase investment, manage risk, and achieve sustainable priorities.
Essentially, what we're looking at is how can we be more targeted in terms of financial resource to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals in the most broader sense. As it relates to the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change, Disaster Risk Management, what we're looking for is how is it that we can be strategic in one, the current resources that we have, two, mobilizing the resources that we need in order to achieve our climate goals, in order to achieve our broader sustainable development goals, and then use those in a targeted strategic manner. No? The ministry have had some experience with this type of framework. Back in 2016, we had a team that worked on the Biodiversity Finance Initiative. And what we did basically was look at the policy and institutional structure, look at where we're spending the money right now, and to see how we can be more strategic and targeted in investing those money. So what we found there is that sometimes it's not that we don't have the money or the resources that we need, but it's just that we need to be more strategic in where we put that money, how we invest that money, and ensuring that we're getting the kind of returns on investments within the work that we do.
By bringing together key stakeholders and policy frameworks across public and private finance, CEO in the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Dr. Kenrick Williams, maintains that designing an INFF can help Belize overcome the challenges of effective public finance and monetary policy.
In terms of the INFF, the idea here is to then do the various assessments as it relates to, the policy and institutional framework. What are some of the opportunities? So we know that there are opportunities in carbon asset management, for example, in terms of carbon credits. We know that there are opportunities in terms of private sector investments in the SDG. So there are some of the things. So it's to do an assessment of what exists, what are the gaps there, and then how we can bring them together to implement. So we're looking at finalizing an initial report at the end of this workshop, and then it is look at who will be responsible and moving to implementation.
With more than 85 countries currently implementing similar INFFs, the UNDP seeks to ensure Belize's success in strengthening the government's financing policies at the national level.
So I think this is a really important event. We have the medium-term national development strategy, we have the country's climate objectives, objectives towards a more sustainable, inclusive economic pathway, but financing is a really important driver of the extent to which Belize can realise those objectives over the medium and the longer term. And so the conversation today has really brought together a wide section of actors from across the government, from across private sector and partners, to talk about how can we build a more inclusive, sustainable financing framework that can drive Belize and invest in Belize towards the goals that it wants to achieve.
What's the next step after today?
So we're hoping over the course of these 3 days that we will build consensus around a way forwards and have a very clear action plan of steps that can be taken forwards in partnership across the government and with partners to deliver on a financing strategy for the future.
The workshop is expected to conclude on January 25th, at which point the aim is to have developed a common understanding of Belize's priorities for moving forward with its INFF to finance the goals set out under Horizon 2030, Plan Belize, Belize's NDC, and the 2030 Agenda. 14-year-old Noelle Cantun, a student of the Belize Adventist College in the Corozal district, won the National Agriculture and Trade Show 2024 team competition. The young student was among other students from across the country who entered the competition, which was launched back in 2023. Her winning submission was integrating sustainable food systems, mitigating climate change, strengthening agricultural resilience. Her submission becomes the official theme for the 2024 National Agriculture and Trade Show, scheduled for April 26, 27, and 28.
We liaised with the Ministry of Education. They cooperated with us and they sent out notices to all of the primary schools, high schools, and junior colleges in the country. And I think that was around the beginning of November or so. And we got the entries in. We got, I think, a total of 47 entries from students from all over the country. And the committee then sat down to deliberate and to look at the different themes and to look at the significance of what they were saying and so on. We wanted the theme to be original. We wanted it to have references to smart agriculture. We wanted it to be catchy. And so we sent out the criteria. We shared it with the Ministry of Education. And we received, as I told you, 47 entries in all from all over the country, from Corozal way down to Toledo. So when the committee sat down, they looked at all of the different themes and they looked at what it was that the images created with the words that the students had put together. And so we finally settled on the winning theme, which was integrating sustainable food system, mitigating climate change, strengthening agricultural resilience. And this was submitted by a 14-year-old female student by the name of Noelle Cantun. She resides in Ranchito Village in the Corozal district, and she attends school at the Belize Adventist College in Calcutta.
Her submission, according to Communications Director in the Ministry of Agriculture, Louis Pook, embodies the values of the ministry as it moves towards the creation of a more sustainable, climate-resilient agriculture sector in Belize.
We are going through a lot of different changes in climate. As you will note, we spent, I think, just yesterday and I think the day before with a lot of rain. So we have to be constantly aware of changes in climate change, and adapting to climate change using different ways of making sure that whatever practices you are using in agriculture help you to adapt to things like flash flooding, to changes in climate and so on. All of those things we have to make sure that people are aware of. So I think the theme speaks well to that. We have been working with that from the time that this new government has taken over. It's a part of Plan Belize, as a matter of fact. And I think we are seeing good results with that, with a variety of new cash crops that farmers are trying, a variety of cash crops like Sobersop and Pitahaya and so on. We have tried to make sure that farmers are prepared when it comes to being able to plant things other than the main crops, citrus, banana, and sugar and sugar cane. So all of these different things are a part of what you look at when you talk about that theme. Yes, for this year we should be seeing, I think, even more abundantly perhaps than last year, different kinds of crops, different kinds of ways in which farmers are showing that they are able to handle climate change, that they are able to build resilience into what they do, into the farming activities that they do. So all of this we should be able to see at the culture show, and for a fact, at the different farms that we visit, we see evidence of this as farmers are more aware and making sure that they include more of these elements in what they do on a day-by-day basis.
For her winning submission, Noelle will receive a $500 cash prize. We will be speaking with Noelle on her winning entry in Wednesday's newscast. Students from Muffles College High School and Belize High School in Belize City were among the top country representatives at the second annual Caribbean Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Olympiads held from January 17 to the 21st virtually. At the Level 2 Computer Coding Olympiad, Team Catalyst, formed by Leah Hunt, Aiden Zabani, Malia Casey, and Daniel Sharp, representing Belize High School, won third place with their project titled My Crime. The Math Olympiad was held in a Jeopardy-style format and covered topics ranging from consumer arithmetic to vector calculus. The Computer Coding Olympiad tasked applicants to create apps, games, and websites aimed at solving a challenge faced by Caribbean communities. The challenges tackled by teams in the 2024 Olympiads including geohazards and climate change, inter- and intra-country transportation, public health, non-communicable diseases, crime and money movement, and also financial education. The CSF is a regional nonprofit NGO with the mission of assisting with the development and diversification of the economies of the Caribbean region by promoting STEM education reform and stimulating technology-based entrepreneurship. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, January 24th here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.